All right, guys, today we're going to be diving into the pros and cons of living in Mountain Home, Idaho. So if you're looking at this video or you're watching this video, you're probably PCSing or you're relocating to Mountain Home, Idaho, or you're just looking to kind of stay away from the Boise area and you kind of like a smaller town with some small town charm. Regardless of what your situation is, this is going to be the video for you guys to watch. So stay tuned, and I'm going to be dropping a lot of golden nuggets for you guys. Now, before we get into the content, make sure you guys do me a huge favor and make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications for more videos just like this. Without further ado, let's get to the content. All right, guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel, Living in Boise. Now, today we're going to be talking about Mountain Home, Idaho. Now, I have a long history with Mountain Home because before I actually got to Idaho, this was actually the first city that I got stationed in when I was serving in the United States Air Force for 6 years, and I did my entire enlistment in Mountain Home. So I am very familiar with the areas. And now with that being said, not only did I live in Mountain Home, I also bought my first home in Mountain Home, and there was a lot of firsts that happened in Mountain Home. But overall, it was a truthfully great experience, if I'm being honest with you guys. So now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about where is Mountain Home, right? So Mountain Home, compared to Boise, right? All you do is hop on the Interstate 84, and it's about a 45-minute drive, maybe 40 minutes, depending on where you live in Mountain Home. It's not too far from Boise. Boise being the capital city of the state of Idaho. So Boise's more city and, you know, urban and just a lot more fun and things to do. And then Mountain Home's kind of just a little bit out the way in the suburbs, and it's just a little quieter and not as much going on. So now if we were to envision Boise and Mountain Home on a clock, we're gonna put a clock up there, is going to be about a 4 to 5 p.m. radius of where Mountain Home is compared to Boise, if you put a clock to it, right? So as far as the commute time, like I said, it's only about a 45-minute to 40-minute drive, unless you live on base, which is at Mountain Home Air Force Base, which is another 15 minutes. So you're looking at about a 50 to 55-minute drive, to be honest, from the base itself. So without further ado, let's dive into the pros and cons of living in Mountain Home, Idaho. So we're gonna do 5 pros, 5 cons. So coming in at pro number 5, there is no traffic and no commute times in Mountain Home. Now, I'm not saying that you can close your eyes and boom, you're there, right? I'm saying if you were to drive from your house to Walmart or Albertsons or wherever they may be that you're driving to, there's going to be no traffic. Traffic is not a thing in Mountain Home. Thankfully, you can literally get to where you need to go without worrying about any delays. Now, if there's some crazy accident for whatever reason, that may delay you, but as far as traffic and commute times, very, very minimal as far as the rest of the nation. It is a small town, not a big population, but you never know, it may grow later in the future and eventually start to have those issues. Pro number 4 is going to be the growth of the town. So the town is starting to take on a much bigger role in growing what it has to offer. So we're starting to see a lot more restaurants come in. We're starting to see more commercial buildings and businesses such as Micron expanding out here, more houses being built, just a lot of things starting to grow in the aspect of where we're limited. We're hoping to see more as it continues to expand. So that is another pro, especially for the people that may own houses or may be looking into purchasing a house and potentially build equity. There could be a lot of equity built in down the line. Whoever is looking to build equity in Mountain Home has that potential with it continuing to grow. Now, pro number 3. So pro number 3 is going to be the proximity to activity. So as I said earlier, it's a little closer than base. If you're located on base from Mountain Home to Boise, you're looking at about anywhere between 40 to 45-minute drive, or if you're a little closer in town, you may even get away with 35 minutes. But proximity to like Anderson Dam or the sand dunes, which is just a couple of outdoor recreational areas that you can go check out. Those are all within 20 minutes to 30 minutes away. You have a couple of hot springs that aren't too far away. You have Box Canyon. You have so many things to do. So if you're into like trail riding, if you're into parks, as you can see behind me, we have a park. We're at Legacy Park today filming, and there's just so many different areas that you can really just get to because Mountain Home is centrally located to a lot of outdoor activities. Even Bogus Basin, now that is more in Boise, but if you want to go snowboard or ski, you have Bogus Basin. You also have Soldier Mountain, and like I said, there's just so many different things that is just surrounding Mountain Home that it's in pretty great location, and its proximity to those activities is relatively close. Now, pro number 2 is going to be a very relaxed atmosphere. You don't see a lot of cars driving by. You don't see a lot of people running around, or it doesn't look dangerous in the city of Mountain Home. It's just a very quiet town. Overall, a lot of people just pretty much you know, they'll go to the outdoors, or they're gonna go to their house and be homebodies. I mean, there's really not a lot going on in Mountain Home. Now, I will say there are community events, there are a lot of attractions within Mountain Home that happen throughout the year, but on a regular day-to-day basis, there isn't too much going on, so you can live a nice, peaceful life in Mountain Home. Now, before I dive into pro number one, I do want to put in there, I am a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Idaho, and as much as I love making these videos for you guys, I would also love to help you guys with your home buying needs. So here's my contact information. I am the one that personally answers all calls, text messages, and emails. So please, please, please do not hesitate to reach out, as I would love to help you guys out. But now coming to pro number one, it's going to be the lower cost of living. Now, Mountain Home is relatively cheaper, especially a lot cheaper when you compare it to areas like Boise or Meridian or Eagle, or any of those areas where you start to see it's a lot more city-like, where things are a lot more expensive, from gas to groceries to activities. Just overall lifestyle is a lot more expensive in Boise. But if you do like the city lifestyle, then that could be for you. But for Mountain Home, it does show in the prices, because you can live a much cheaper lifestyle here. You can get a lot more bang for your buck here in the city of Mountain Home, as far as anything from groceries to gas to just things overall. Now we're gonna dive a little bit into the cons. So I have 5 cons for you today. So starting off with number 5, it's going to be limited job opportunities. Now, like I said, I did say that Mountain Home is on the verge of growing, so overall we're going to start seeing more and more job opportunities pop up, but as of right now it's very limited. So, you know, there's a lot of retail stores, restaurants, there's a couple of hospitals, not a lot though, as far as medical or, you know, just in general job opportunities overall. So in that aspect, that is going to be a con, and that's why a lot of people actually end up moving to Boise, because they do find better jobs or better pay in the area. But with that being said, and Boise does cost more, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword, right? You kind of got to pick your poison, but it is something to at least consider as a con. Con number 4, for our people that love entertainment and just going out and having a good time, Mountain Home does have limited entertainment. So we don't have a movie theater, we don't have a bowling alley, we don't have a lot of things that you may want to do. So a lot of people end up going to Boise to socialize a little more, be able to do some shopping, some eating, a little bit of everything overall, because truthfully, Mountain Home doesn't have too many restaurants. There are a couple of mom and pop shops, and you know, we have a few food chain restaurants such as McDonald's, Taco Bell, Jack in the Box, Arby's, Pizza Hut, Domino's, and then there's a couple more others. But with that being said, there's not a lot in the town itself. But with that being said, it is growing. They did just build a Taco Bell, which was like the biggest news in town for the longest time. There was a line there for like 2 months straight. It was crazy, but that's how limited the entertainment is. Now, this next con, number 3, is gonna kind of go hand in hand with number 4. So with limited entertainment also comes limited shopping. So as I said, the biggest shopping center that's gonna be in Mountain Home, believe it or not, is gonna be Walmart. So Walmart is the biggest store, and it's kind of like the mall of Mountain Home, as I joke around and say. But outside of Walmart, you have Albertsons, you have D&B Supply, you have a grocery outlet, you have, well, that's pretty much all you really have. You do have a couple of like home improvement areas, and you do have AutoZone and O'Reilly's, and like I said, very minimal things. So you have the basics to survive, but outside of that, you don't have much that Mountain Home offers to you. Now, coming in at con number 2 is going to be a big one, and I do just want to put out there that this could be one of the biggest cons when it comes to this. It's going to be limited healthcare. So as far as healthcare, there's only one, you know, true hospital, which is St. Luke's in town, and even their hospital can't fully operate on all types of procedures. So some things have to be, if there's special procedures or things of that nature, it does have to be sent out to Boise, which is another reason why some people, if they have special needs or things of that nature, they end up moving to Boise anyways, because there's a lot more that they could be offered as far as healthcare. And I do want to add in, with that being said, that there is also the base hospital, which a lot of military members you know, go through. However, if you do have anything happen outside of the duty hours, then you do have to go to the hospital in town or potentially the hospital in Boise. So depending on the circumstance, as I said, it could be a really big downer on that aspect. Now, one more time before I dive into con number 1, I do want to put it back out there that I am a licensed real estate agent in the state of Idaho, and I would love to help you guys with all your home buying needs as you get ready to head this way. So please make sure you guys reach out to me via call, text, or email. So with that being said, con number 1 is going to be low housing inventory. So housing in Mountain Home is very limited, and not only do we have that problem in town, we're also having that problem on base. So they are building as fast as they can, and I know that they're pushing houses like crazy. We just had one subdivision that they're getting ready to finish out. And then we have multiple subdivisions being built as we speak right now, to kind of try to make up for the lack of housing now that we have and try to fix that situation. But with that being said, lower supply could potentially lead to higher demand, which means more costs. But with that being said, Mountain Home is relatively cheaper. So we're looking at a median price point right now of $335,000 compared to Ada County's median price, which is about $545,000. So overall, Mountain Home is significantly cheaper, and you can get a lot more bang for your buck as far as housing and things of that nature in town, and it's relatively cheaper, especially if you're coming from somewhere like California, Washington, or any of those big towns where housing is absolutely obnoxious as far as pricing. So now with that being said, those are the pros and cons of living in Mountain Home, Idaho. Thank you guys for tuning into the video, and if you haven't already, make sure you guys like the video, comment any questions that I didn't answer in this video, and turn on notifications for more videos just like this. Thank you for tuning in. See you on the next one.